You can't win an argument. You can't because if you lose it, you lose it. And if you win it, you lose it. Why? Hi everyone, welcome to the latest episode of Detox. I'm Arijit, and first of all, hope you had a wonderful weekend. And what am I talking about? You can't win an argument. So, the next few minutes, which you'll be spending with me, I can give you the guarantee that the things which I'll be talking about, if you try to apply it at your day to day life, I would tell you from my perspective, I've gained a lot of things, and this will basically help you to have to resolve a lot of problems which you face, and it will help you to build more better relationships. Now, as I started talking, if you win an argument, you lose it. If you lose an argument, you lose it. Now, why did I say about it? Trust me, whenever there is an argument with someone, there are two kinds of people. One kind of people with whom, even if you argue, and if you want to show them that this is wrong, what they will feel is they'll feel that you're trying to correct them. And trust me, if a person is at a point of a disagreement, right, if you try to make him feel that you're more disagreeing to it, that person will disagree to certain points which he would have agreed. This is our normal how our human mind works. Now, how is that? The first of all, the most important thing is, if you think about the needs of or the Maslow's needs, on the top of the need comes the self-esteem. Understand one thing: to everyone, the most important thing is their self-esteem and their importance. Everybody wants to feel important. So here we'll be talking about certain points where whenever you have an argument, the best way is to avoid an argument. Now, people will say, whenever we are in a circle of people where we will be having arguments, which will be having disagreement, then how would we handle with it? The first of all, the most important thing which you need to understand is, it's not something very big or something like getting a very big something if you win an argument. I don't feel so, because not always is something it's like that if somebody is arguing with you, you have to win that argument. Not really. The most important thing what you should do basically is, you first should listen to that person. Whenever we try to prove someone wrong, automatically that concerned person will be on a defensive foot. If you analyze much of your interactions, maximum of your day, you are working to prove yourself right and the other person's as wrong. A lot of people whom, whenever somebody wants to convince, right, that person doesn't get convinced. You're not being able to convince that person. What's wrong is happening? The most problem is you're trying to prove that person wrong. That is the most important thing which you need to understand is, if you put that person in your shoes and if a person wants to prove you wrong, will you ever agree to that person? So this is what we are talking about. Like, when we have an argument, you should not argue. You're telling them. That's not the point. The problem is, every conversation when you're talking about and you want to have a fruitful outcome from that, don't change that conversation into an argument. What basically you need to do is, you need to give that other person the chance to give his views or opinions. And trust me, once that person tells you something, and if you find that there's something wrong about it, the thing which you need to understand is, not every argument you need to prove someone right and wrong. I would say not every argument. Every argument where it requires a fruitful outcome, you can never win it, because that person itself, the point at which he has come to a point of disagreement, he, even if you close the argument and if you feel that you have won it, actually right from the first place when you started arguing with that person, you have lost it. So how do we deal with that? First of all, the most important thing is, whenever there's a point of disagreement, try to have that person's view, what you're having, and try to make that person speak about the point, what exactly that person wants. The most important thing that I always say is everyone needs to needs to make themselves feel that they are respected. If you don't make that person feel that they're respected at any point, even if you think that you're winning an argument, you will lose it. So the first option, the best point and the best thing to win an argument is not to argue at all. And that's a big thing which I'm talking about. Second, and the most important thing, what you need to do is you need to respect the other person's opinion. That is very, very important. If you don't respect the other person's opinion, you will never be able to convince that person. Sounds very different. Now, the thing is, always remember there was a very famous line like maximum 53% of our time, that's a statistics, we are only right. We are only right 53% of our time. And if you're right 53% of your time, you achieve huge thing. 53% is a huge number. I'm talking about those people who are really successful. 53% are those people who are actually in the success tier of the tier 1. So if those person are at the 53%, just understand what percentage you are in. So the main objective of me telling you is it's not always that if you want to prove that person wrong that you win an argument. The best way of dealing an argument is let that person speak, understand, and then let the person give it. It helps. Now, and another most important thing is if you know if you have done a mistake, admit it, empathetically admit it, and trust me, the whole conversation goes to a different zone. It takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of skills to admit your mistakes, and trust me, everyone, and I'm telling nothing is 100%, but still everyone appreciates when you accept your mistakes. That's a huge learning which I wanted to give you. So before I end the video, there are 3 learnings which I wanted to give you. First of all, the best way to win an argument is not to argue at all. Second thing is, when you are having a point of disagreement, what you should do is you should allow that person to say that person's view. You need to understand where is the point of disagreement. Third, and the most important thing which maximum helps you is whenever you do a fault, try to admit it. That helps a lot, literally a lot. Admit it, and trust me, that person, in order to show his magnanimous nature, will try to make himself feel better by letting you away from that mistake. This is the latest episode of Talk. I hope you had a learning from this. If you like it, please subscribe and please share. Thank you so much for always supporting. Have a great weekend.